We've taken many of the Chinese meat trade dogs before, and there are good people doing good things trying to rescue them. We've had ones that have been tied up in the back of trucks that people have actually stopped and paid the drivers to save the dogs. But obviously that's only scratching the surface. And this little precious girl had lived years in an awful shelter where she was very frightened, terrified of humans. And we just thought, here's a little broken soul that we think will do well at our place. Amber was your typical kind of Chinese dog. They're not that much used to the outside. Her story is just really impressive because she was probably one of the most damaged dogs, and we may never get her a home, but being able to watch these little magical moments where she peeks her head out and she looks at what everyone else is doing and she sees, okay, I can do this too. It just shows you how much will these dogs have got. She has obviously been very badly damaged. You can tell her head is to the side. We had it checked out. We knew there was no pain there. She had learned to protect herself by circling. When she's stressed, she circles a lot. When she's really frightened, she goes into that position. She was typically not wanting to move far from the crate, and then we put her in our rehab caravan, which is a lot smaller and quieter with some of our other gentle-natured dogs, and she kind of stayed still. It took a while for Amber to learn to move forward, and she copied Folly. So Folly is just one of our resident dogs, and she just attached herself to her and took strength from her. We didn't make her go anywhere. We left gates open, and she slowly started coming into the park to see the other dogs because they're inquisitive and they want to be with the pack, which is why our setup sort of works so well for these kind of dogs. So she felt safe and we didn't bother her at all. Unfortunately, the site she was at, our original site, was just a bit too busy for her, and we found out that she kind of plateaued. We decided to move her up to Rescue World, where it's extremely quiet and they just have absolute freedom with hardly anybody coming and going. And now she's got loads of friends, so she doesn't rely on Folly, and it's wonderful looking out now and seeing her doing her thing, and Folly might be at the other side of the field, but she still feels like completely safe to be here. As she's come out of her shell and everything, and we've just seen her neck relaxed, which is really interesting to watch. And then we had the breakthrough of one of our members of staff had been working so hard with her, and she finally took food from us, and that was a moment that, it just made all of the worry worthwhile.
So we started the process of feeding them all individually in a group, and Amber will start by just looking from a sofa, just what's everyone doing. With time, we were able to throw the food and then she'll run and catch it, but still wasn't feeling brave enough to get it. One day, after repetition, she felt brave enough to sneak in between all the dogs, catch the food, and then next time a little bit more confident until we were able to stretch her fingers, she'll have it, and then come back a second time again. It was a lot of emotion, and at the same time you have to hide it, because if you were to express how you're feeling, she'll get scared. So we had to just keep her cool in spite of how emotional it was.
Amber has taken many months to get to this stage, but if she'd have gone into a kennel, she would never have been able to cope with what else was going on around to be able to come out of that shell. So it's so important that we give them this freedom, this choice, and we evaluate them as they're going along. We still don't know if we'll ever home her, but to have gone from where she was to now in a few months just really gives us that motivation to carry on for the others. We're desperate to help more dogs like Amber. We've got the land, we've got the planning permission, we just need the funds to open phase 2 of Rescue World. Please play the rescue lottery.